The opinions expressed in the following program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect those of Rogers or Rogers TV.
वेलकम बैक फ्रेंड्स, मैं सनी जोशी एक बार फिर से आपका स्वागत करता हूं। मेरे साथ है ऑथर अभी माथुर, जिन्होंने एक साइंस फिक्शन पे एक किताब अभी रिसेंटली लिखी है। 2-3 हफ्ते पहले मार्केट में बुक आ गई है। हमारे साउथ एशियन कम्युनिटी से उनके साथ कुछ बातचीत करते हैं। अभी वेलकम टू साउथ एशियन फोकस टीवी।
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
How is the feeling? What inspired you to write a book like this?
I think what inspired me was that my pursuit to create something with entertainment with value. We typically see novels which have only entertainment, they're page turners, you keep going on for 500 pages, but you often find that there is no real value, there's no message coming out of it. So I wanted to create something that has, the entertainment factor to it, but also has some values, by which I mean there are moral messages and there's also some facts based from real life. So when somebody's read even just 10 pages of the book, be it any section of the book, they'll find that there was also some value with the entertainment. So I think that's was my real inspiration. That's what I wanted to create.
Great.
Wonderful. So, Avi, if I'm correct, it's a science fiction-based novel. The
Yes.
South Asian community, that's kind of rare. I think we don't really, go towards the science fiction area. So, how has it been received so far by the readers?
Yeah, it's been received very well, actually, and a lot of people, for example, even some science teachers for mid-school, they read the book and they said, this is amazing. One way or the other, we want to make sure that our students read this book. There's some sections which have to be modified if it has to become a student book. But as for the audiences, the real people for which I've written the book, the people, I think they're loving it.
अभी जब आपने ये किताब लिखी साइंस फिक्शन पे, जैसे हुमा ने कहा कि साउथ एशियन साइंस फिक्शन, इवन फिल्में जो हम बनाते हैं वो कम साइंस फिक्शन पे बनती हैं। आपकी वो टारगेट ऑडियंस कौन थी जब आपने ये किताब लिखने के बारे में सोचा?
I think the target audience would be somebody, जो Indian ethnicity से है, and it's essentially because although it is a science fiction, but it is based on Indian scriptures.
Right.
So it's based on Indian scriptures like Ramayana, like even the Indian Vedas, Puranas, Upanishads. You go back to them. So I think this was a interesting combination, at least that's what I thought, to combine science with the Indian with the Indian scriptures, right? So I think almost everybody has seen Ramanand Sagar's original Ramayana, right? So when people go back to those sections, there would be a refresher, right? And so the story is about a child who's hearing stories from her grandmother. The grandmother is reciting Ramayana. The child is very curious. He questions her grandmother, why is this happening? Why is that happening? He doesn't take things on the face value of it. So he goes back and forth, and all this connects back when he grows up and he finds out, and he's a chief scientist, he finds out that the world is coming to an end. And I think that's where this all gets connected, that the Indian scriptures about which he learned and how would they help him to unravel the mysteries of the ancient past. Another thing I want to add is that there's a legend that we always hear about, that our Indian Vedas had secret knowledge hidden in them. So I think I tried to explore that, like what was that knowledge hidden? Could we learn something from those Vedas today? And I think that's what the book is all about.
Wonderful. So I was curious, before the segment actually I made the connection of, I didn't watch it much, but Mahabharata series television, but I thought that was very kind of magical and a lot of science fiction.
Right.
So there are religious connotations in your book, or you've taken from certain scriptures, and that's interesting.
Yes, certainly. It's more of Ramayana in this one.
Right. और अभी जैसे पहले भी शो के पहले हम बात कर रहे थे आपसे, ये आपने जो तारीख डाली है नॉवल में अपने में, वो 2017 की है.
Right.
Any specific reason 2017 को डालना, या?
I think the prime reason was I could not have shown the present because it's showing the world is coming to an end. So I didn't want people to be scared. So just getting there. So
आपने ये सोचा कि 3 साल बाद के लिए स्केयर कर दो, अभी के लिए ना करो.
Exactly. So 3 साल बाद तो फिर भी शायद लोग believe
भूल जाएंगे.
They might believe that it could happen, but if I tell them that it's going to happen tomorrow, it would be really very scary. I was like, people would the stock market might crash and they might not read my book. So that kind of stuff. So it is set in 2017. That is the present year, and it does go back to the year 1988, 1989, when the original Ramanand Sagar's Ramayana used to come on television. So it's going back and forth in year. So it's moving in time. It's moving in space. The protagonist is traveling from Delhi to Toronto, also to parts of Egypt, to Greece. So this is where all the journey is taking him.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go out on a limb and ask you, what's the genre of books and novels that you grew up reading, or what's your favorite? I'm thinking it's probably science fiction since you chose to write that, but what was your favorite?
Well, interestingly, it's actually both. I've read more of non-fiction than fiction, but in fiction, I think I'm a bigger fan of thrillers like Dan Brown and stuff. So I've read his whole series, and then I also like the philosophical stuff by Ayn Rand.
Okay.
And in non-fiction, I read all sorts of biographies, Steve Jobs, and they're completely off what I've written, but that's the kind of stuff that entertains me, and I like following it.
And Avi, I know it's too early to ask this because the book has just come out, hit the stands about 3 weeks ago or so. पर फिर भी जो response आपको मिली है, जो लोगों ने खरीदी है, पढ़ी है, how has it been so far?
I think so far they've been enjoying it. Very interestingly, I have also put a section of an engineering college. The protagonist, when he joins the engineering college, he's in his final year. So that's the fun element that I have to put in. And although it's a fun element, it should be taken away with a lighter vein. Also, what happens is that the characters are developed here. 5 characters called the Wonder 5 develop here. So students or people of that age and that genre are also enjoying that chapter, right? So it's like I think
it's already reminding me of 3 Idiots.
Yeah, you see. So there you go. I think we had more fun than shown in 3 Idiots. So I was like, okay, this should go into the book. So clearly, so I graduated from Delhi College of Engineering in India. So a lot of people there are enjoying that book. But I think anybody who's in college or university will get nostalgic, will go back in time, and will relate to it.
Will relate to the book. Okay.
Yeah.
And would you recommend it for non-South Asian readers as well? They may find it interesting as well, I'm sure.
I think so, yes. My first intended audience are South Asians, but then certainly if it does go forward, I think I will target other people as well.
So the book is called Surya Night, and where can people get more information? Do you have a website, or do you have anywhere where people can get in touch with you?
Yes, most certainly. So we did make a Facebook page. It's called Surya Night, and there's all the information. People can preview the book. People can see. We also did a little launch party. So there are stuff that people can also grab from that. And the book is available on Amazon.com. From there, they can just buy it anytime.
Thank you so much, Ravi, for being in the studio. I hope everybody goes and checks out the website and looks into this wonderful book. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sunny, time for us to say goodbye for another week.
जी, अभी एक और segment बाकी.
Oh, we're not done. I'm sorry. I'm confused today. We'll be right back then. My bad.
Surya Night, for more info, mathuravi@gmail.com.